Welcome to Varsity. I am Bob Prisbillo. Joining me as always is Scott Wright. And this week we're going to look back at week 6, look ahead to week 7, give you our locks of the week, and let you know where you can find us this weekend. Scott, let's start with week 6. I have a pretty good idea about what you'll be talking about. Go ahead, man.
The Patriots of Putnam City West. It was kind of a strange situation that I actually ended up out there at that game. Kind of the way some things fell, but it was fate. It was destiny. They happened to win while we were there, which was a great thing. We got to produce some video and write about the emotion of that moment when a team wins for the first time in 3 years, almost to the day. It was pretty ironic, but 28 straight losses for Putnam City West, and they finish it off in that streak with a 30-21 win over Shawnee at home. Just an emotional scene, really enjoyable to take in.
What I took from week 6 is a team that's had a lot of recent success, but they just came out on fire on Friday night, and I'm talking about Heritage Hall against the Racers. I knew the Chargers were a very good team, but this was scary. This was like, this is what happens when this group of juniors and those seniors put it all together in one half. Before you could even blink, it was 35-0 at the end of the first quarter, and it was 56-7 at halftime. How good were the Chargers? Sterling Shepard touched the ball 6 times in the first half. 5 were touchdowns, and on the 6th, he caught a pass that he pitched on a hook and lateral that turned into a touchdown. It was a phenomenal performance. It's easily the best performance I've seen this season. Now, moving ahead to week 7, Scott, what are you looking forward to?
There's a lot of games this week that I find kind of interesting. Got some good games in the West Metro with UConn and Putnam City North. See what Putnam City North can do to bounce back from that loss. Putnam City and Mustang, obviously a big game with big playoff implications. But Class 4A, there's some the top of Class 4A I cannot figure out. I was taking a look at that as I was writing my Douglas story this in Tuesday's paper, and it's a really kind of confusing set of teams that are at the top of that class. Wagner and Oologah play this week. I think is a really big game. Maybe get a little bit of separation, try to figure things out in there. Hera is a team that's coming on. You don't know exactly how good they are. They've got Douglas here in a couple of weeks. So I want to see what happens in the top 10 of Class 4A.
So you're looking at 4A. Anyone who knows me knows where I'm looking at this week. It's 5A. It's Carl Albert. It's Guthrie. It really doesn't get any bigger than this in the regular season. The two teams were expected to be among the best in the state. They've lived up to that. They won their games on Thursday and Friday by a combined score of 128-0. Their 2 losses have come by a combined 3 points. These are the 2 best teams. This is the first time I'm going to get to see this game in person. I am really excited for it. I don't know who's going to win, but I think it's going to be a classic. And with that said, we will move on to our locks of the week. Scott, go ahead.
Well, I'm at 2-4 on the season. I'm not getting too excited about my locks of the week at this point, but I'm going with Broken Arrow. This is the team that I saw in the preseason, oddly enough, at the Southmore scrimmage. But they're hosting Southmore this week. I think that it's a really good team. Archie Bradley at quarterback, but this is a team that runs the ball really well. They're really powerful at the offensive line, and I think that they're able to handle Southmore this week.
I said I'm not sure who's going to win, but it's been tradition for me to lock Carl Albert Guthrie. This goes back to 2007. So this year I'm going to lock the Titans. I think it's going to be a great game. I think Kenton Whittington's going to end up making the huge play that provides the difference in this game. I got it 30-29, Carl Albert. And finally, as always, Scott, let people know where we can see you this weekend.
All over the place. Of course, Thursday night, I'm going to be at Heritage Hall, my first chance to see the Chargers in person. John Marshall is there on Thursday night. Friday, we got 5A, 6A volleyball in Shawnee, and then I'll head out to Mustang to check out Putnam City Mustang. As I said, a big game there. And then all day Saturday, volleyball, see if the favorites, Edmond Memorial and Tulsa Kelly, can hang on for the 5A and 6A titles.
Thursday, you can catch me at 5A, 6A softball. And then on Friday, more softball before I head to Carl Albert and Guthrie. And Saturday, we will close out the softball season with the 5A and 6A championships. Well, Scott, we appreciate you joining us as always. That's all the time we have for this week, but you can check us out every day at newsok.com/varsity for the best high school coverage anywhere.